which is great.
Nice. Can you see the screen now?
Yeah, now I can
Oh,
see your screen.
perfect. Nice.
Great.
Okay, so what should I stay with this computer? No, no, no. Ah, okay. Nice.
Okay, when it gets ready, I'll do the title call.
Huh? Okay, so I think
Yeah,
when you tell us,
okay. So let's get started.
start.
Okay.
Okay,
So are you, yeah, ready, Ruben?
ready, ready.
Okay,
Okay,
let's
ready?
get started. Thank you everyone for joining the Thursday Gathering 141. So before starting the session, it's the 11th of March today. So as a member of this society, I would like to share one thing from Venture Cafe. So Venture Cafe always wants to ask ourselves what we can do for society. As we remember the 10th memorial of the Great East Japan earthquake on March 11th, let us all reflect and pay our respect to the Tohoku region. Thank you. Okay, so the first session of today's Thursday gathering is Smart City Toward the Human-Centered City. Today we'll welcome our wonderful speakers, Ruben and Takumi here. So I would like to pass it over to Ruben. The floor is all yours.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much to everyone for joining us. Thank you very much also Venture Coffee and CIC for let us stay here today in as you said, a very important day for Japan, the 10th anniversary of the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. Okay, my name is Ruben Fernandez Vela. I'm from Spain, and well, I think my Takumi can talk better about this because you are from here. So I pass. I'm Takumi Sato. I was working in some architecture studios. So next year I work in like JR to design the city, to develop the city. So today I think we can talk about the tsunami, the earth, the 2011, and about smart city. So okay, about myself. I came here to Japan 1 year and a half ago. As I said, I'm from Spain. I'm a lawyer. I'm attorney at law. I do a lot of stuff. I'm working also as a legal advisor, data protection officer, smart city advisor. But right now, I'm working an associate consultant at Titan Green Tech. In Titan Green Tech, what we are doing is we are a recruiter agency focused just on renewable energy, sustainability, and also all clean technology. So this is our focus, this is our mind, and we believe in a green future, and we believe in a zero carbon future. So, okay, say so, we can continue. Okay, today, our session of today, what we would like to talk is about, or we would like to think about the city as the place that we are living, and what is going to do, what is going to be the future of the cities, and also we would like to think about if the future of the cities as we are thinking right now at this moment, we are doing well, we are thinking we are really thinking properly in the future of the cities, or maybe not. The smart cities is a hot topic. It's a hot topic that for example, in Malaga, where I come from, it's the south of Spain, we started to develop the smart city of Malaga in 2012. And for my experience being part of the smart city advisor of Malaga, a panel of advisors, and also for my experience after this during the years, I realized that maybe the concept of the smart city is not the best concept to talk about a city, because we have many different aspects that we are going to talk during this session. Why the smart city maybe is not the best way to think or to rethink the future about the city, and how we can develop a city thinking about the real protagonist of the city, that at the end of the day are the citizen, the inhabitants, the people. So that reason why we're going to talk about smart city. We're going to talk about something also called intelligent city, the human-centered city, and also some ideas such as the open source urbanism, the city in face of data, and also the resilient city. So the first thing is I would like to share with you are some data. I'm pretty sure that everyone knows about, for example, that um, in, you can see me? Oh, yeah, sorry. For example, in 2050, almost 20 billions of people will be living in this world. Uh, oh, sorry, I think we have some problems with the microphone.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay. So okay, now, so also another thing is that 70% of the population will live in a city according to the United Nations. Another thing is also that Tokyo. It's very interesting. This is the only megacity in the world that this is not a cesspool of corruption and inequality. This is very, very important for me. You know, this is I'm living right now, and I'm so proud that Tokyo is one of the best megacity in the world to live. So we should think very properly what Tokyo is going to do in the future to not, let's say, please, do not mess this amazing situation that right now have. More data is that 3.8 billion of smartphone users we've got in the world. So imagine the amazing amount of data that we are creating every day. Almost 50% of the people in this world nowadays have a smartphone, and Japan is the 7th country of the world with more smartphones in the whole world, with a total of 72.6 million of smartphones. That's it's really amazing. Okay, but let's back to the beginning. Let's back to the roots. What is a city? So we need to think, okay, a city, according to many dictionaries, according to the basic definition of a city is a set of buildings plus street plus a government with a city council, and then with a lot of people that live in the city that they are working in the second and third sector. It means that they are not working in the fields. They are not they are not doing agricultural activities. But also, the city, when we speak about the city, the city has a fundamental roles in the socioeconomic development of situation of any nation. So the city are like the cells of a body. If we think that city is a cell and the whole body is the nation, so are the key to develop the economic growth, innovation, social progress, culture, knowledge, diversity. So the cities who push the nation to continue living, to continue breathing. But okay, this is the concept of the city. But what is a smart city? We have a theoretical definition, and then we have another definition that is what is happening nowadays with the smart cities. So a theoretical definition is made in the books. The smart city concept, well, let's start from the beginning. The smart city concept born in last century to try to design cities more sustainable, so with more sustainability, cities without cities trying to be more green, trying to respect the environment. But step by step, the concept of the smart city was developing, And a smart city is nowadays all the cities that are using digital technologies to create, on one hand, infrastructures, components, and on the other hand, that all the public services that the city offered to be more interactive, more efficient, and also to the people, the inhabitants, can be more informed about all the things that are happening in the city. But the truth is a little bit, is not so beautiful. Right now, the smart city is just a city, as we talked before, that we put a technological layer inside. So when we think about it, we think that the smart city have like a first big umbrella with a technological framework, and then behind this umbrella, or under this umbrella, sorry, we have a government framework, so an open government, an energy framework. When we talk about energy, is that we are trying to reduce the carbon. A data framework, so we are trying to use all the data that we are collecting, or the city is collecting through the smartphone of the inhabitants, and then a population framework. But population framework, when we talk about population, we're not talking about the citizen like one by one. We're talking also the citizens, sorry, like a group. We are not thinking about the citizen as a unique unity in the city. So my question, and it's an open question that after we can discuss, and we are gonna discuss, is don't we are missing something in the concept of the smart city? Okay, let's put this question in the air, and we can continue. Why a city want to be smart? This is the first question that we need to ask. Why? Why we need to change from city to smart? Well, the answer is easy. First of all, because the government has aspirations to have better connection with the citizens, with the population, but also because to create a perfect link between all the private organizations, and also because they are trying to incorporate to the different decisions that the government are going to make to the inhabitants. So that's the reason why they create a smart city project. Because of the government, and also because of the companies, and also thinking about the citizen. Yes. Mm-hmm. The second question, the next question is, what kind of city is more suitable to be smart? To be honest, all the cities can be smart. All the cities can access to a smart city project, always that they have a business model, and always that they have money to spend in this. The next question that we need to think about the smart city is the implementation of the smart city. How we can implement a smart city? Well, this is super easy. First of all, we need to check the city, we need to design the solution, we need to create a plan, and then we need to talk with the different stakeholders, and then we apply this and we close. So as you can see, it's like a B, C, D, E process, but this, when we evaluate and when we interact with all the actors, we finish the implementation of the smart city. It's nothing open. So this is very important to remember. When we talk about a smart city, is something that is from A to E, and in E we close. Let's continue. Also, what is the timeline about the smart city? Well, about the smart city when we need to think that it's a long-term race. It's not something that you can create from 0 to a smart city. But now I would like to bring here Saskia Sessin as a philosopher and urbanist, that she said that the city is a system of systems, but an incomplete one. Is alive always, is always changing. So if we think that a smart city is a plan that we can close, we are having there a contradiction, because the city should be a system always open. We cannot close. We cannot think just that the smart city is a plan, or it's just a question of bullet points that we need to check, do, and we forget about it. Let's continue, please. Sorry, one. Yes, you wanna say something?
No.
Okay. So sorry. Let's continue. Continue. Okay, the size of the smart city. This is really important. It doesn't matter the size. If a city, if we want to implement a smart city, it's important be a big city. It's important to be a big city. It's important to be a small city. No, it doesn't matter. A smart city can be big cities, for example, Singapore. Also can be cities smaller like Finland, or can be cities like Malaga. It doesn't matter. So when this is, sorry for being so quick. I am so sorry, but this is more or less what is the part about the smart city. Just the conceptual part of what is what is a smart city. Now, let's start to talk about, it's really a smart city a good concept? Is really a smart city a good model of city? So now, Takumi, please. I want that you join to me finally.
I'm so sorry. From this part, I will speak a little bit in Japanese. で、これからちょっと建築の視点から、じゃあこのスマートシティっていうのは、どういう形であるべきかっていうのでちょっと話したいと思います。で、この、カルロス・モレノさんっていう方が15分の、シティってことで、15分自分の家から自分の拠点から15分範囲内で、例えば、役所であったりとか仕事場があったり、学校、スーパー、買い物、公園とか、そういった日常生活を行っていく上で必要なものが全部15分以内のこの圏内に置くことによって、実は4ついいことがあるんじゃないかということで、1つは、エコロジー。まさにこのスマートシティとかの、テーマであるそのエコっていうことについて、一番体現できる。なぜかというと、例えば皆さん今電車を使ったりとか、車に乗って仕事に行ったりとか、そういった交通機関が、必要なくなる。徒歩で全てのところに行けるっていうことで、かなりその地球にとっても、エネルギーにとっても、節約できると。で、2つ目、近接性っていうのが、利便性ですね。どこに行っても、例えば今コロナ禍で、なかなかどっかに出かけたりとか、買い物に行ったりとか、仕事も今、かなりオフィスに行かないでテレワークっていう行う人も増えてるんですけれども、例えばこれが15分圏内であったら、かなり感染っていうのも減ったりとか、そういったことで、かなり利便性が増えてくると。で、もう一つは、3つ目ですね。3つ目は、人々との、関係性ですね。今までも電車に乗って、例えば1時間であったりとか、1時間半かけて仕事場に行くんですけれども、その間って基本電車の中で皆さん SNS を見たり、もうずっと携帯を見てるんですけれども、例えばこうやって15分かけて仕事場に行けるのであれば、途中で見た人とか、例えば商店街を通るのであれば、その商店街のお店の、例えばいつも朝から頑張ってるおじいさんおばあさんとか、通学してる子供とか、そういった、通過することによって、ある意味、直接話さなくても何かしらの、コミュニケーション、 っていうのが生まれてくるんじゃないかっていうふうに思っております。そういうことによって、その地区の人々が持つコミュニティっていうのが強くなっていくんじゃないかなと思っております。で、最後に、この一番重要なのが、自分たちのこの15分圏の中にある街を良くするために、地域のまさに3で作られた地域コミュニティ、この県の力っていうのを使って、例えば、この15分圏の中でなんか自治体を作って、こういうふうに書いてほしい。これは必要ないんじゃないか。これをこの15分圏に増やしたらいいんじゃないかっていうのを、地域たちの人々が自分たちで自分の15分圏の街を作るっていう、そういったこともできるので、まさにこのスマートシティっていうのが、体現できるこの15分の街なんじゃないかなっていうふうな、事例がございます。そうですね。で、次はまたルベンさんに変わります。
Okay, so thank you, Daniel. So, these 15 minutes cities are just an example of what a smart city could be. And as you can see, the technology, it's not just a layer, it's just a part of everything. Okay, now there are a lot of authors that talk about what does it mean smart city, and also they talk about something that is, it's like an evolution of the concept of the smart city. They talk about the intelligent city. And in an intelligent city, all the inhabitants, all the citizens are co-creators of the society in which they belong. It means they are co-creators of the society where they live. Do you remember before that we were talking that we have everyone access to the mobile phone? So they can, or they have the possibility to say, to have a voice in different aspects of the city that are important for them. So when we talk about a smart city, we are also talking about data. We are talking about, we are talking about not only personal data, but also data. So we need to, it's very important to understand what is the concept of the data and what data we need to protect. Because of course, if we are creating a huge amount of data in a city using technology, this data, on one hand, could be not personal data. When it's a non-personal data, we need not to have any worry. A data, at the end of the day, is just specific information that let us understand better something. For example, let to us understand better the emission of CO2 or of a different part of the city, the people that are using the metro at one time, but the personal data. This is a problem. Now this is a real problem, because when the personal data, we need to have a real law. We need to protect them. So personal data is every data that we can just with one data or with two data, we can identify one person. So when we are in a smart city and we are using the technology, also many of these data are personal data. So to implement a smart city model, at the same time, we need to think what we do with the data, how we can use the data in the best way, but at the same time, we need to think how we can protect the citizen and how we can protect their personal data. Okay. So this is something very important to develop when we are creating a smart city or whatever model of city that we are using the data of their citizens. So, okay, let's continue. And so we have a problem with, 1 second, sorry. Okay, now, about the role of the data. So 1 second, sorry, because now everything. Okay, so now, sorry, about the role of the data. We have to reconnect again with the model of the that we talk about, Saskasiasen open source. The open source data model, it means that when we have public data, when we have transparency and accountability, we can let the people participate so much better thanks to the open government. So, for example, in Malaga, what we did is this. We have in one hand the open data site. We can click in the link and I can show you better. It seems that the link doesn't work.
No, you cannot, if I link this,
cannot share. Okay, sorry, we cannot share the links. I'm so sorry. Well, okay, I explain you how does it work. Okay, in Malaga we create three websites. The first website is about open data. Our data are not personal data, but are a huge amount of data, and this huge amount of data are open to everyone to can use them, to can understand better how the city works, and also at the same time, a lot of people can use this data to create, for example, applications, to create different services to the citizens. The next website that we've got in Malaga is the transparency. What does it mean, transparency? Transparency does mean that all the people that are working in the public administrations or are politicians, all the people that are working in the public sector, they need to explain what they are doing in every moment. Not only what they are doing, with whom are they meeting, with whom they are doing a business, and also how much money they are getting for their work in the public administration. But I think that nowadays in Japan, and I would like to, I'm sorry because we didn't talk about this before, but I think that this is a hot topic right here, right now in Japan, isn't it?
Yeah.
About what the public, what the different public workers are doing, and maybe you can explain a little bit why it could be okay here in Japan. You can explain in Japanese.
Okay. For example, now,
if it's okay for you in Japanese,
okay.
It's okay.
So 最近ニュースでもよく皆さん見かけてると思うんですけれども、政治家の人が例えば NHK とかそういった放送局の人たちから接待を受けている問題なんですね。例えばこのスペインでは例えばこの政治家の人たちが、いつどこでどのレストランで何を食べたか、そういったレシートも全部提出するんですよ。それがすべて国民に公開されて、チェックされてるっていうのもあるんですね。で、それが例えばこの今日本の、法律の中ではちょっとなかなかまだ難しいかもしれないけれども、そういったシステムがこうやって日本の中で導入されると、常に、国民が今こうやって国会の中とか議員の中で不正が行われてないかっていうのがチェックできる。そういったシステムが実はこのマラガの、スマートシティの中のデータベースの中に含まれているっていうお話だと思います。
Thank you. So, and the third site that we've got in Malaga is one site that, okay, the first one is from the government to the citizen, the second one is also from the government, the people that work in the government for the citizen, and the third one is different, it's from the citizen to the government. So you can talk directly with the government. You can talk directly with every single person that in the government, and you can chat with them. You can have open ways to explain your problems regarding or connected with the city. So we have this participation area in Malaga Smart City. So these 3 points, open data, open government, and also participation, are basic bullet points for a smart city, or for an intelligent city, or for an open source city. You know, to be honest, there are a lot of ways to name a city, but at the end of the day, what we want is that the citizen be the center of the city. This is our goal. This is our idea. Look, I like so much this this animation. It's called Jetsons. Of course, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm old, but it's not so old. It's from 1962, and the Jetsons. If you have the opportunity to check it, they already designed a smart city. They what we have right now, thinking when robots that are serving to us, cars that are flying, houses that are speaking to us, in the Jetsons, they already have it. So right now it's like, okay, we are living in this world. It's really funny. But let me came here to a reflection of Paula Q1, that she said, a smart thing. Okay, she said that, okay, I need to talk. She's from Canada. She's the director of the Civic Innovation Office of Toronto. And she thought, okay, I need to know what is a smart city. So let me Google it. And she said, a smart city is, in Google appears something like, a smart city is more about data integration, electronic data collection, sensors, and information management. And she said, what does really mean? I don't know, but she realized that the focus wasn't the people. So, okay, the true meaning of the smart city is not the people, is not just the technology. And okay, we wanted to show you now a small video about what is psychopath, but maybe you can, Taku, you can explain better, because you love this animation.
そうですね、例えば2015年に放送されたサイコパスっていう多分ご存知の方もいるかと思うんですけれども、アニメの中でまさにこの、スマートシティに、変わるようなそういったシステムが使われていて、シュベラシステムっていう風なアニメの中では言ってたんですけれども、人間の脳をつなげて、その脳の中で、データを判断して、その国民がどういう人たちなのか、どういった職業が適しているのかっていうふうに、まさに AI ですね。AI っていうのを使うことによって、人々の生活をすべて決めていくっていうのが、その中であって、例えば電車とか車とかタクシーとかもすべて AI。だから人の生活とか、タイムスケジュールも AI。服もAI によって決められる。で、そういった中で、そのAI がすべてさらにつながっていて、使うエネルギーとかもそういったふうな、ことで、すべての AI がコミュニケーションすることによって、管理されているっていう、そういった、ちょっとね、近未来、まだありえないかもしれないけれども、近未来的なそういったものがございました。
So, the civil system is what we don't want to create in our city. And this is something that could happen if we just think about to put technology in the city without think about anything more. Okay, so maybe no, let's go back.
I have no idea.
Okay. I'm sorry for because we cannot see the pictures and the videos. So okay, I wanted to show you something. Is I don't know if you know what is Wakanda, but Wakanda is the city of Black Panther character in the Marvel world. So Hannah Bitzler, that is the producer designer of this movie in 2019, when they told to her, okay, you need to create Wakanda, you need to create a city, a futuristic city from zero to Marvel world. What she did is, okay, she take a plane, she went to the city where Wakanda is inspired, that is in the middle of Africa. And what she said, she didn't research technology, not. She was during 5 months studying the people inside of the city, studying the relationship between the people, studying how the different group and association connect between each other. And then she started to think, okay, how the technology could help to these people to be better. And this is how she created Wakanda. After I'll try to share with you, with who is interested, the link with the picture and with the video of the city, because we have some technical problems that we cannot show you now. But oh yes, we can show you. Here is it. Finally appeared. Nice. That's cool. This is Wakanda. This is Wakanda. As you can see, it's a futuristic city, but the root of this city is the African culture applied to a new world. So, and she didn't think about just technology. She think about the people there. So this means that for her, for Hannah, what we need to think is that the human-centered cities are designed around principles and value of the people who live in the city, not just thinking about technology. So that's the reason why we need to look, we need to study, we need to create humanistic cities. We need to put the focus in the humanistic sides of the cities. Of course, we don't forget that the technology is very important. We are not saying no to the technology. No, we need to. What we are trying to explain here is that we need to change. We need to change the way that we are focused or the way that we are studying the technology to apply to the city, right? So, thinking about technology and thinking about city, what can go wrong in a smart city? Well, first of all, can go wrong the privatization of the cities. Why? Because as smart cities, as you can imagine right now, there are a lot of interests in there. There are a lot of corporations that they are working in the smart cities. So finally, maybe the city could be just a hub of many companies, many private companies with different interests and not with an harmonic, unique interest in the cities and in the city. Second, the digital gap or the digital divide. What happened? Imagine what happened if a big percentage of the population are old, are in the third age. They cannot use the technology as, for example, we or people that are younger than, for example, us, but they use the technology so much better than us. They already born with us. They already born with a smartphone in their hands, and this is something that is happening here in Japan. Maybe Taku, you can jump a little bit about this, about what happened with the old people and the use of the technology here in Japan, and why it's not, what is happening here, because they are like, okay, old people are not so comfortable using technology. So how we can, what we can, you can explain a little bit about this Japanese. Go for it.
まさに例えばよく皆さん、ね、おじいちゃんおばあちゃん、僕もおじいちゃんおばあちゃんもそうなんですけど、 新しいものについていけないとか、だから、例えばタンス預金をして、なかなか銀行、こうやってね、データであることが信用できないとか、データがなくなって、お金がなくなるんじゃないか。詐欺にあって、例えばなんか入力間違えたら、お金なくなるとか、そういった多分、教育、例えば今僕とかもそうなんですけど、デジタルもうネイティブ世代で、生まれた時からもうパソコンがあって、そういったものが日常的にある人と違って、突然そういったものが入ってきた時に、普段やっぱり若い時にそういったものを使ってなかったりとか、なかなか教えてくれる人がいなかったりってことで、あの、まあ、使うことに対して恐怖心を持っている。何か自分のパーソナルなデータが持ってかれるんじゃないかっていう恐怖心で、使わないこともあるんじゃないかなっていうのが結構日本では今、だから、例えば今、デジタルで、ペイペイとかそういったデジタルマネーっていうのが増えてる中、やっぱり日本ってなかなか現金を出せないっていうのがあると思うんですよ。そういった背景にはこういったものがあるんじゃないかなっていうふうに考えております。
Also, another problem with the smart city is something that we already talked. It's if we are using an amount of data and a big amount of personal data, we need to take care with this. So we need to have a very good regulations. We need to have a very good regulations with the personal data in the smart city. If we don't have a good regulation, a good act taking care of the personal data, this could be a problem because this could be a privacy problem and this could be a violation of our rights. Also, another thing is, okay, we can have data, we can have a lot of data, we can have an amount of data sets, but the problem is that if the data, we cannot access to the data, or the data that we have are data without quality, we cannot take solution, we cannot study this data, and we cannot do anything with this data. So at the end of the day, we are losing time, we are losing money, we are losing all the opportunities that all this data in another model or in another, if we create another way of city, we can use in a better way. But one of the main big problems of a smart city, as we think a smart city is the planned obsolescence. What is this? The planned obsolescence is a policy of design a product with an artificially limited useful life, so that becomes obsolete. It means that, for example, as you know, you buy a smartphone, and this smartphone maybe has a life of 5 years, and then the battery start to be so you cannot charge it. Maybe you buy a fridge, and this fridge you can have maybe 4-6 years, and then start to have problems in the motor. You buy a computer. So it means that by design, the engineers who designed this PC, this smartphone, this fridge, decide that, okay, this should have a life or a deadline of 5, 6, 7 years to continue with the cycle of the consumerism. So if we are like using technology in the city, and we are using this digital technology, this technology could be obsolete, could be old. So what happened with this? So if the technological layer that we have in the city is a play, but is dead, what is going to happen with the city? So the city finally is going to die. And the dead obsolescence of the smart city make us think about these questions. For example, are the intelligent buildings going to survive? For how long they are going to survive? The tech solutions that we are applying to the city, Internet of the Things and so on, for how long can be updated? we are creating cities for how long? We are creating cities, or we are creating just hubs of technology that they are gonna live for a short period of time? We are creating a new Venice, or we are creating just a new MacBook? And finally, how technology is able to build a city? Is it the technology who built the city, or we should change, and it should be the people who build the city using technology? And this is something that we need to think about. That's the reason why I came here. I bring here Saskia Siasen reflections about the open source urbanism and the open source city. So for her, the smart cities are all marked by extremely high-tech systems. So the whole city is a tech space, a tech hub. The thing that what she asked is the same that I said before. For how long this technology will be updated? And then what happens when this technology will be obsolete? What is going to happen with the city? So for her, she thinks that the city should be like an open source software. An open source software is a kind of computer software in which the code of this software is released under a license in which the copyright is divided, or the right of the copyright is divided between all the people. It's distributed about anyone who want to do a modification. So the open source urbanism is something like a kind of open source software. It's something that should be always open. So for her, the city should be understand like an incomplete system. It's a system of a system, but a system that should be always open, and all the people that live in the system should, that live in the city, sorry, should update, should be a co-creator of the city, as we said before. Okay? But at the same time, if we think about the open source city, we also need to think about the resilience of the city at the same time. Why? Because this is, for example, the Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, said that the resilient cities are cities that have the ability to absorb, recover, and prepare for the future shocks, not only economic, but also institutional, environment, and social. So the resilient cities promote sustainability development, well-being, and also inclusion growth. So if we think about a resilient city model plus an open source city model, we have there the key of how the smart city or the smart cities should be. Should be cities that the technology shouldn't be the main focus of the city. The technology should be used just like a way to get what we want to. But we need always to think about the citizen. We need to think about the inhabitants. We need to think about the people who live in the city and how we can surround around them technology to create cities that are always a city in data phase, a city that can always be like in an evolution process, like we are, like the people are. And if we understand the city on that way, we are gonna have always a space to the innovation. Because if we understand the city, the smart city, just something that, okay, we put a technological, a tech facade, phase in the city, and nothing more. We are not letting to the people to innovate. We are not letting to the people create new business model with this amount of data that we can extract we can get from the city. We cannot let in different startup and innovation system do or create new business to create a better city. Okay, so speaking about the resilience, I would like now to Takumi talk about, okay, today is a very special day.
Yeah.
And to talk about Japan and the Japanese citizen as a real example of resilience and as a real example of how, maybe in my case, I'm most focused in Tokyo, but how the whole Japan, the whole Japan can be a resilient. So please.
そうですね。例えば皆さん、日本に住んでる方は、もう、最近もね、東北の方で地震がありましたが、こうやって日々、地震であったりとか、台風であったりとか、水害だ、熊本とかも、そういった風に自然災害がもう多い国なんですね、日本っていうのは。じゃあ、どうやって皆さんは回復しているのか、その男性力っていうのは何なのかっていうのは、実は僕もすごく不思議になっていて、でそのヒントを見つけたの実は2年前にベネチアに1年間留学した時に思ったんですね。ベネチアでは夏とかあまりないんですけれども、秋から春にかけて週に2回ぐらいアクアアルタって言って水位が上昇して街が沈むっていう現象が起こるんですね。まさに水害ってことで、日本とある意味似てるんですけども、そこの住民の人たちはどういった反応をしたのかなっていうのを振り返ったときに、なんかそれを当たり前のように日常的に受け入れているっていうことが、すごく僕面白いなと思っていて、日本もまさに、日々こうやってちょっとしたちっちゃい地震だったら、皆さん何事もなかったかのように、すぐに日常生活に戻りますよね。台風とかも、屋根が壊れた、じゃあ直しましょう。そういったように、なんかある意味、来たものに対してそれを受け入れて、直した上で忘れていく。それを気にしないでいくっていうのが、日本のそういった回復力。別に忘れるっていうのは、亡くなった人とか、特にね、3.11で大変な災害があって、それを忘れるっていうことではなく、災害があったことを忘れていくことによってストレス、国民たちが抱えているそういった災害とかによるストレスっていうのを軽減しながら街を持続させていく。それがある意味忘れることによって回復力、男性力がこの街の中で持たれてるんじゃないかなっていうのをすごく留学の時に、見て思ったんですね。で、あと、ちょうど2012年ですね、震災から1年後に僕は実はボランティアで、現地に行ったんですけれども、もう本当に津波によって全て流されていた、景色を見て僕はもう本当に言葉を失ったんですけれども、今ちょっとね、思い返したときに、建築基準法とかって基本的地震とかに対しては、そういった法律とか、こういった強度を保つための技術的基準っていうのが設けられているけれども、津波に対してどこまで建築の方面で、基準とか設けてるのかっていうと、ほぼないんですね。そこはどうなのかなっていうのをずっと思っていて、確かに、ある意味それも諦めてるっていうのがあるんじゃないかなっていうのを思ってるんですよ。津波っていう人間では太刀打ちできない、そういったエネルギーに対して、もう建築でそもそもこれを設定したところで、次また高い津波が来たら、太刀打ちできないよね。あんまりここで設定してもキリがないよねっていうことで、ある意味の諦めなんじゃないかなっていう僕は個人的に思っていて、だったらどうすべきなのか。皆さん当然、もともと自分が暮らしていた街に戻りたいっていう気持ちはあるんだけれども、そうやってそこを忘れて違うところで新しい生活を始められればなっていうことで、そういった回復力も、多くの方は持ってるんじゃないかなっていうのがあります。 で、そこで、こういったふうに、今でもまだ避難区域として戻れない地域っていうのも、まだまだあるんですけれども、それを、こういった全国の空き家とかの問題によって、ある程度解決できるんじゃないかなっていうのも思っておりまして、例えば近年、年々この空き家率っていうのは増えていて、2018年度では約13.6%も空き家があるんですね。面積でいうと約大体9州ぐらいの面積が空き家なんですよ。それを東京で見てみると、世田谷とか大田区っていうのが、もう特に空き家率が多いんですね。じゃあなんで、そういった震災とか、そういった災害が起きやすい場所に人々が住んでいて、こういった空き家があるところに戻ってこないのか、住み変わろうと思わないのかっていうところで、実はこのスマートシティっていうのも、ある意味関わってくるんじゃないかなと思っていて、そこの街の暮らしであったりとか、様子っていうのを知らない、ある意味恐怖心を持っていたりとか、今まであった生活が大きく変わるわけですから、そこで新しい場所で自分の新しい人生をイメージできないっていうのも、ある意味、こういったものを阻害する要因ではないかなって思っていて、例えばこうやってマラガのデータベースのように、どこに自転車が今あるのか、どこに、行ける公園があるのかっていうふうな、そういった莫大なデータが、例えばこの空き家の周りの先ほど言ったね、徒歩15分圏の中で、分かるようになっていたのであれば、そこに行った時に自分が実際に暮らすイメージがつくわけなんですよ。それによってある程度恐怖心っていうのが取り除かれて、その街に、溶け込むっていう、そういったサポートにもなるんじゃないかなということで、そうい今ね、少子高齢化とか、地方なかなかインフラとか、そういったものを考えた上で、こういった空き家とかを使うことによって、プラスこのスマートシティっていうのを掛け合わせたことによって、いろんなその日本の特にね、こうやって災害とかっていう問題を解決できるんじゃないかなっていうふうにも、展望として大きくあるんではないかなっていうふうに思っております。
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mm.
So, thank you very much for yes, thank you very much for this time. Thank you very much for joining us. It's 6 p.m. right now. Yes, we have 2 minutes more. And I would like to share with all of you, if you want to stay in touch with us, please feel free to add us in Twitter, LinkedIn. You have there, well, in this case, you have your LinkedIn and your email address. This is my Twitter, LinkedIn, and my email address. You can reach me out here in Titan Consulting. .gp, where it's Ruben at marktitanconsulting.jp, and we're gonna be so happy to share with you all the information, to share with you different reflections, different thoughts, and anything you wanna. But as far as I know, Lisa, we can now move to a chat room, and I will be so happy to invite to everyone that wanna chat with us, stay there for 30 minutes, more or less. But Tago, you wanna say something before we finish?
It's okay.
Okay.
It's time, right?
Yeah, it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ruben and Takumi, for your wonderful talk. And then it was really a great moment to share with the people about, especially this special day with you, and then with your wonderful session. As Ruben said, that'd be great if you can join our. Sorry, I was talking on mute. Yeah, so thank you so much, Robin and Takumi, for your wonderful session. And it was really great to have you on this special day to think about what we can do for making a resilient city, and then what we can do more to be together, focus on more the human-centered city. And that'll be great, as Ruben said, that'll be great that if you can join our virtual networking space. I'll just put it again here so you can have more chat with Ruben and Takumi. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you
Thank
really
you very much. That was amazing session. Let's